nice weekend, great weather. Thankful to be here with you guys. Jenna sends her love. She wishes she could be here. She's at home with baby Fitz. Let's look at some announcements. Dr. Ashford's going to come and bring the lesson today on Hebrews 5, Melchizedek, which should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. But first, announcements. I don't know if the Calvinists want to establish a date this morning for the pumpkin carving party.
So we were thinking this Thursday, but our dates are like the consensus in here today is Thursday works. Or was it this Thursday? Next Tuesday. So that's about the 24th.
My only issue with Tuesday is I'm thinking the whole group of people from our church, the known professionals, but I could, and I only have 2 prop pots, and I've got to use both for that, but I could.
I mean, I think that a Thursday is a fun, I mean, Thursday.
If y'all are good with this Thursday, let's just set it for that.
I
And just
thought
do
it
it.
was like a fun-ish time anyway, like Tuesday. There's all 4 days in the week to get to on a Tuesday.
Are you good for Thursday?
Okay, we'll plan this Thursday. We'll send out time and I'll make sure directions are on the group.
Awesome. So this Thursday, we're going to have a pumpkin carving party. If you've never done it before, it's really fun. We split up into teams, and everybody carves a pumpkin, and the best pumpkin has bragging rights. We eat good food, just hang out and talk. So it's a lot of fun, so hope y'all can come to that. So Thursday.
Bring people too, like if you want to bring people just to like meet without bringing them like here first, then please feel free to bring coworkers or colleagues, whatever.
I usually win the pumpkin carving.
What time though? We'll put it on a group, let me just think through that for a second before I
Commit, no problem. So the other thing that'll be falling right up after that is the fall festival here at the church that next Sunday, the 27th. Are we doing a trunk?
Yes, we're doing a trunk. We'll use our car, but I do need some people to kind of like man it because I feel like we'll be with our crew like doing the trunk or treating part. So if there's anyone that isn't, or Brandon and I will man it and we will get volunteers to go.
Well, I was actually thinking I would love to man it. I'll just send my kids with y'all. I'll man the trunk the whole
We'd
night.
rather take our kids to the trunks, Brandon and I will man it.
Yeah.
But
That would be the easy part.
maybe that's how I do it.
How long is the retreat?
It's 4:30 to 6:30. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I mean, like, we're gonna see all that people, like, it's super fun.
When do you need help decorating your
Yeah,
trunk?
probably.
So why don't we plan to show up about 4?
Maybe like 3:30.
Okay.
We'll put more details on the group.
Okay.
3:30 to 4.
Okay.
And if anyone's coming this Wednesday or next Sunday, maybe, bring candy, or we can just, amongst our own class, just bring candy for our.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Y'all just bring a bag of candy with you to the trunk or treat that you can donate to our trunk. And we'll give that out to the kids. And
Basically, turn your group meal alerts on for the week, because there'll be lots of information.
okay. Well, that sounds like we got a plan. I'm looking forward to it. So Thursday, pumpkin carving party at the Calvary. Sunday, trunk or treat here at the church for the fall festival. Anything else in terms of announcements? Men's Bible study is still going strong on Tuesdays for the luncheon with Chip. So if you get a chance to come to that, please do. Upward basketball registration soon. And lots of other things here on your announcement page. Anybody got any prayer requests we need to mention before we get started hearing from Dr. Ashford?
I have a few weeks ago, I prayed for my grandmother for knee replacement, and it went very well. She's not in pain. They did have to reposition her kneecap, but other than that, she's doing very well.
Awesome.
It's her birthday,
Oh, what a great birthday gift.
so. Right.
I'm glad. That's awesome. It's nice to hear praise every now and then. Thanks for sharing.
I have a coworker who, has some cancerous cells, and so he's just starting that process. I think it, from everything he says, it's definitely manageable and treatable.
Awesome.
His name's Richard West.
Okay.
Got a good friend, neighbor, who's dying of cancer, and, pray for, early distribution, and,
He's got a grandbaby coming in like 2 weeks.
just trying to hold on. They live 2 houses down from us, they're our neighbors in another neighborhood, our new neighborhood, and they're kind of like a second mom and dad, because they're just very supportive. And, but anyway, she's been struggling with her for a year, and it's looking like it's getting close. She's in the hospital.
Please pray for her.
My brother, he, Sam, he had a really close friend who committed suicide this past week, and so it was just, his friend with him, so I think he's down.
Very sorry to hear that. Was that the young man out in Madison? Okay. Any other prayer requests? We'll go ahead and get started. All right, I'll open us up with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, God, thank you so much for this day and for all you've given us, Father. Thank you so much for the opportunity to meet in your house, God. We've all probably had a tough time even getting here this morning between family and other obligations and thinking about our, what's coming up this week. God, I pray that this morning you'd help us to push that aside and to focus on you. I pray that you'd help us to truly do as your word says and not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer, petition, and thanksgiving, to present our request to you and to know that you're in control, God, and you're sovereign. Help us, God, Father, just to relax right now, to hear this word from Dr. Ashford. I pray that you do with him. I pray, God, that you'd help us to understand your word more, and God, that we could use it to ultimately glorify and honor you in our lives. Pray for each person in this room and pray to lift them up to you. I especially pray for the names mentioned this morning, Richard West, and God, his upcoming battle with cancer. God, I pray that you be with him and strengthen him now, God. I pray for Ms. Disney, God, and I just pray that you be with her, help her to hang in there and to be strong and see her grandchild, and pray that your will be done in her life. Pray for Carol Ann's brother and for his friend's family and for all that they're dealing with. God, these situations seem to come all too often, and we pray, God, that you could use this in the lives of those people that knew him and were surrounding him. I pray, God, that you'd help us all turn to you, to turn away from our darkness, and just to remember how pivotal it is to do as you say and to carry the fruit of the Spirit, to bind love and faithfulness around our neck, because you never know when a kind word, a loving word, an encouraging word could make a difference. Help us to remember that this week, Father God. Help us to be prudent people that overlooks insults and that keeps our focus on you. Please be with Dr. Ashford this morning. Amen.
Thanks, Cody. We're studying the book of Hebrews, and this is the card that was dealt me, Hebrews 5. And it's an interesting but very short book, only 14 verses. So if everybody would turn there. We're also going to look at 2 other scriptures, Genesis 14 and also Psalms 110. Unfortunately, they're fairly short. Genesis I'm going to kind of surmise, so you won't have to dig through all those very difficult names and things. But anyway, Hebrews, we're really not sure who wrote Hebrews. Cody may know, but I don't know. There's a lot of opinions that maybe Paul wrote it and other people wrote it, Timothy, Barnabas. People have thrown out theories, but nobody really knows who wrote Hebrews. However, it's very clear who Hebrews was written to. Imagine yourself as a first century Jew who has accepted Christ. And you now have got to abandon all that you have been taught all your life. The temple has been destroyed by Titus Vespasian in 70 AD. Jerusalem was sieged, tens of thousands of people were killed, and the survivors were marched off to Rome to build a thing called the Vespasian Amphitheater. Today we call it the Colosseum. And so there were a lot of Jews scattered around a lot of other places. all over the world where it was trading then and now. There were a lot of Jews there working, and those synagogues were destroyed, and the Romans were persecuting Jews, and they were persecuting Christians. And there, if you had been a Jew, how do you think the priest felt about you if you had renounced your Judaism and had accepted Christ? So these people were put upon. And that's who this book is written to. Each chapter deals with a different aspect of it. And today, it's dealing with the priesthood of Jesus Christ. Was Jesus Christ a descendant? I mean, what did you have to do to be a priest under the old Judaism? You had to be a descendant of who? You had to be a Levite, and specifically you had to be a descendant of Aaron. You had to be one of Aaron's descendants. And so it was a hereditary priesthood, and all the priests were, and you were a priest because your daddy was a priest, or because your uncle was a priest. You were a direct descendant of Aaron. And there's a new priesthood that's emphasized in Hebrews 5, the priesthood of Melchizedek. And we're going to look at that because it's an obscure kind of thing, but kind of interesting to look at in the Bible. So Jesus Christ is our prophet, priest, and king. Remember, in the ancient world, a prophet was not only a person who could project events in the future, somebody that was prescient, but also a person who fulfilled things that had been projected about him. Jesus Christ fulfilled over 400 Old Testament prophecies. Was he a priest and a king? Certainly. We know he's a king. Why do we know he's a king? Gabriel appeared to Mary, what did he tell him? Fear not, blessed are thou among women, for what is conceived of you shall be of the Holy Spirit. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. And what did the, see if I can get my machine. What did the wise men bring to baby Jesus? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right? Gold signifying he was a king. Who had gold? Kings. And the very, very, very wealthy merchant class, no one else had any gold. So, anticipating that he would need it because he was going to be a king. And frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense was a spice used only by priests, and as a gold. Frankincense, when we were in Israel, this is the plant that frankincense comes from. You cut it, and this little resin comes out, and you scrape that resin off and dry it. And in Jesus' time, this dried resin cost more per ounce than gold. And only the priests used it. It came from Yemen mainly, but they still have a few little scraggly bushes around. Do you remember years ago when I taught a lesson on the 10th chapter of Genesis about how 8 people got off that ark? And so there was Noah and his 3 sons, and they were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. That's right. So we're going back, as we look at Melchizedek, we're going back in time now to about 2000 or more BC, where the sons of Ham are here. They are the Egyptians and the Nubians, and Shem are the Israelites and the Arabs, like the Saudi Arabians. And then Japheth is up here. That's us. That's the Iranians, that's the Indians, and the people who populate North America. And so, we got any lawyers in the crowd? Lawyers, raise your hand if you're 4,000 something years old. It's the oldest code of laws known to exist, the Code of Hammurabi. Okay? The Code of Hammurabi. And there are 281 laws, and the 6th king of what would be Babylon one day had this created. It's in the Akkadian language, and 2 things that survive in our judicial system today: the innocence of proved guilty, and the ability of the accused to cross-examine his accuser survive today. But that's all on that little style. But who knows Hammurabi? Well, there were these Shemite kings. If you turn and look at the 14th chapter of Genesis, I'm gonna just tell you this story because it's difficult to read, and the words that jaw breaking, not only the kings, but the places where they were from. But Amphrael was Hammurabi. He was Amphrael in Hebrew, but in his language, his name was Hammurabi. So it's the same guy that made that stylus. He's a Shemite king. First guy listed, he's an A-lister. Hanok and Shelamander and Tidal were Shemite kings, and they took on and served, were enslaved by 5 Hamite kings who were Bera, Bertha, Shinab, Shemeber, and Zoar. Okay? Is everybody excited about that? Hear about that? Okay. But anyway, what do people do when you leave them alone? Well, they choose up to fight, don't they? So they had a big battle after serving this group of Hamite kings. The first group, the Shemite kings, had a big battle, and they came and they whipped all the Hamite kings, which would include the king of Sodom and Gomorrah. And they pillaged all the towns. They took a whole bunch of captives. And you can read all about this in the 14th chapter of the book of Genesis if you want to. But they made a big mistake. They captured this guy and his family named Lot. Remember Lot? And he was the nephew of who? Abraham. Exactly right. Abraham didn't take kindly to this, and so he decided to go get Lot. Now, the Bible tells us that Abraham was a powerful man, wealthy man. But he had 318 trained soldiers in his household staff. So I don't know how big his household staff was, bigger than ours, sure. But 318 trained, professional, raised from birth soldiers. So Abraham and his trained soldiers take off after these Shemite kings, and they chase them from the bottom part of the Dead Sea all the way up to Damascus. So that's the distance of about here to Memphis or here to New Orleans, on foot. They wage war against them at night and whip them, and they get Lot and his family and start coming back to deposit them back where they belong. And on the way back, Abraham comes to this place called Salem. Can somebody read me Genesis 14, verses 18, 19, and 20? Because this man, Melchizedek, is going to step on the stage of the Bible for the first time, and believe me, it is a touch the hot pot, just barely there, but it's interesting what they did and the relationship between Abram and Melchizedek. Now remember, the Bible teaches us many different ways. One of the ways it likes to teach us is by building types or pictures of things to come. So somebody read that for me now, 18, 19, and 20 out of chapter 14.
And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High. And he blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abram, by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand." And Abram gave him a tenth of everything.
Okay, isn't that interesting? All right, so this king of Salem, now 1,000 years later, which ain't much in the Bible, 1,000 years later, a guy named David is going to come to Salem and run the Jebusites out and make that city what? Jerusalem. But here we are 1,000 years earlier, and Abram's coming by, and he runs out, and the guy brings out, the king and priest of Salem brings out bread and wine. Who did something with bread and wine? Jesus, in the upper room at the Last Supper, he did. Okay? And then, do you find it strange that Abram is giving this guy a tithe? Who do we tithe to? Building a type, didn't we? First time that we know anything about Melchizedek, first thing we know, and it's just 3 verses. That's it. until you get to Hebrews almost. But then 1,000 years later, lo and behold, he shows up again, Melchizedek, in Psalm 110. Can somebody read the whole thing? It's not many verses. After 1,000-year absence and only a 3-verse mention, Melchizedek shows up again. This will be it for the whole Old Testament. This is it. I mean, it's a touch and go. All right, Cody.
The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. The Lord sends forth from Zion your mighty scepter. Rule in the midst of your enemies. Your people offer themselves freely on the day of your power in holy garments. From the womb of the morning, the dew of your mouth will be yours. The dew of your youth will be yours. The Lord has sworn and will not change his mind. You are a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord is at your right hand. He will shatter kings on the day of his wrath. He will execute judgment among the nations, filling them with corpses. He will shatter chiefs over the wide earth. He will drink from the brook by the way. Therefore he will lift up his head.
Is that not the millennial reign of Christ? A type, very clear picture of the millennial reign. Who's this right hand of the Father? Who is going to sit in judgment in Jerusalem? I mean, a very clear picture of Jesus Christ to come. And this is the only time Melchizedek is mentioned in the Old Testament, but empty in it. All right, now we're going to get to our Sunday school lesson, Hebrews 5, which is, we've had our first Sunday school lesson, now we'll have our second. Hebrews 5, it's only 14 verses, but here shows up Melchizedek again. And he's going to really show up in 6 and 7, so we're just kind of getting ready for here to teach us the next couple of weeks. But Melchizedek is making a big, big comeback. So he's got Hebrews 5 to read for us.
Every high priest is selected from among the people and is appointed to represent the people in matters related to God, to offer gifts and sacrifices for sin. He is able to deal gently with those who are ignorant and who are going astray, since he himself is subject to weakness. This is why he has to offer sacrifices for his own sins as well as for the sins of the people. And no one takes this honor on himself, but he receives it when called by God, just as Aaron was. In the same way, Christ did not take on himself the glory of becoming a high priest. But God said to him, "You are my son, today I have become your father." And he says in another place, "You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek." During the days of Jesus' life on earth, he offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverent submission. Son though he was, he learned obedience from what he suffered, and, once made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation for all who obey him, and was designated by God to be high priest in the order of Melchizedek. We have much to say about this, but it is hard to make it clear to you because you no longer try to understand. In fact, though by this time you ought to be teachers, you need someone to teach you the elementary truths of God's word all over again. You need milk, not solid food. Anyone who lives on milk, still being still an infant, is not acquainted with the teaching about righteousness. But solid food is for the mature, who by the constant use train themselves to distinguish good from evil.
Very good. What do we learn from this? Help me out. Does God expect Christians to understand the Scriptures? You got to be pretty versed in Scripture to know about Melchizedek, don't you? You know, he's, pardon me, but he's pretty obscure among all the things I've read about in Scriptures. He's not up there with David and Saul and, Elisha and people like that. I mean, Melchizedek, and clearly the writer of Hebrews expects the reader to understand who Melchizedek was, and talks about him just like he's talking about Nick Saban. Everybody ought to know who he is. And so it's kind of interesting. We should study the Bible. Blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of ungodly, nor sitteth in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on that law doth he meditate day and night. We're commanded to read the Scriptures. In 1 Peter 3:16, we're also commanded to give a defense of what we believe. So So, yes, we were expected to know this. And these Jews who are now Christians and are so set upon can take a whole lot of comfort in knowing that God has appointed a high priest in the order of Melchizedek and not in the order of Aaron's descendants to look after their needs. And who are the priests now? What does this chapter say? We're to become the priests and minister people, and we're to learn the scriptures, and we become the high priest. We do. Questions or comments? Kind of obscure touch and go in for
Yeah, it's
Melchizedek.
right there at the end, it kind of talks about, when we talked about this before, it talks about the unskilled Christian or just the new Christian being fed milk, kind of compared to
Yes.
a child, and then as we become priests and we teach others, you know, we're supposed to serve up solid food, you know. That in here, you know, some days we come here, some days we come to church and we're serving up milk, and we're, you know, we've got these people that invited to church, and it may not be the lesson that you take home and really touches you, but maybe the lesson that an early Christian who's immature in their faith needs to hear. And other days we're going to serve up steak and potatoes, and we're going to really get into the meat of it like this. I think when you're talking about Melchizedek and making references to Old Testament and New Testament. But this is great. I appreciate your insight on Melchizedek and giving us kind of historical perspective.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because if y'all haven't been to hear Carol Ann's Uncle Chip talk about what we as Baptists believe, but we're giving a little course. I just took it over at the CLC, but it's going to start again at in Fellowship Hall East for people who are thinking about joining the church. What does a Baptist believe? What is Baptist doctrine? What's Baptist theology? Even for the most case-hardened Baptists like yours truly, it's a great course, and you get this handout, and there's all the scriptural basis for what a Baptist believes. It's great. It's worth anybody's time. I just reminded me of that. It'll be either this coming Wednesday or the next Wednesday it starts. Ask Carol Ann if you don't know. You know what shit's up to. I know. That's a good comment, Brent. Thank you. Anything else?
Some people say Melchizedek was a pre-incarnation of Jesus. But
They do.
because he doesn't give any lineage. I don't know. If
There is no,
that's-
yeah, he
I
has
don't
no
know
lineage.
that that's
There's a lineage of
true.
everybody else mentioned, but there's no genealogy of Melchizedek. No. So there are people that make
And he offers the bread and wine.
offers bread and wine, just like Jesus did to Abraham. Abraham ties to him. There are a lot of really close parallels. So either he is a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ, or he is a type. What are some of the I'm glad you brought that up. What are some of the pre-incarnation appearances of Jesus Christ?
To Joshua.
Yeah, and also to Abraham, the 10.
I was the voice in the burning bush. Who was in the fiery furnace? The fourth guy in the fire. So he was here on earth before he came as a baby. And maybe he came as Melchizedek 1,000 years before
Usually they
Salem.
didn't name them.
Before,
Usually they didn't have a name. It
That's
was
right.
pre-incarnate, so
Right.
it probably was a real person.
but there are those, to your point, there are those who think he was a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ. I mean, I think he was a type of it. Good comment. Other comments? All right, y'all ready for the pop test? No, we won't do that. Instead, Paul Marks is going to dismiss us.
Dear God, it's always a privilege to be able to come to your house and sit at your feet and hear your word proclaimed. We thank you for the challenging thoughts that were expressed today. We think about those that were mentioned earlier, prayer requests, and recognize that everyone has burdens that they carry.